I've learned something over the years that are really important to our spiritual lives. I've learned that leadership and who you submit under is very important. And I think this does not just refer to church. It's not just applicable to church life. It's not applicable to your discipleship in scripture. I think this is true and applicable in any sphere where you submit under a leader. I'm going to tell you why. I've experienced some things over the years where we submitted under leaders and we were walking a certain way. And what happened is the leaders that we submitted under really struggled with sin. They struggled with secret things that that gripped their hearts, if I can say it that way. And it became a struggle for them where they couldn't break free from it. So what happened is, after that, what happened is the very same thing that they struggled with started to become a norm in my life, and it became a fruit in my life and in my family's lives. And I realized this, and when I looked at it, I said to my wife, I said, listen, I see the things that our leaders are struggling with are becoming fruit in our lives. And I looked into it a little bit, and I think this is where the Lord spoke to me around this thing of the secret sin of the leaders becomes the fruit of the people. I'm going to say it again. The secret sin of the leaders become the fruit of the people. Now, it might not be 100% so, but you will start to see where leaders struggle, specifically in churches, with a certain thing in their life, secret sin, it becomes the fruit of the church. So I take it, and sometimes I look at what is the predominant struggle and fruit in the church, in terms of sin. In a church, amongst the people, amongst a group of people that submits to a leader. And I start to look at the life of that leader, because things are spiritually carried over. But I've also recently seen this thing in our nation. And I realized I've seen this thing in our nation. And specifically with what's happening now with the commissions that we're seeing and the inquiries that's happening and all these type of things that's currently going on. You kind of see you kind of see the exposing that's happening to leadership in this country, and you realize what's happening on the ground with our people. And this, like I said, is not exclusive to the church. In any sphere where we submit ourselves to leaders and where we have presidents and leaders that leads us. Look at the nation. The things we see, the fruit we see of the people in our nation and what's happening in our nation. Corruption, it's on every level of society. We have, it's just a disorganized thing that's happening in our nation. We've got many other things that are not violence, and you start to see through these commissions, and you hear things, and how true they are, I don't know, but there's evidence of these things, and you start to see, but what is happening? The secret sin, the things that our leaders struggle with, becomes the fruit of the people. And these things are spiritually carried over. We have to be careful. We have to be careful who we choose as leaders. We have to be careful to whom you submit yourself, under which leader you submit yourself. I think as a nation we need to think about that. And as a people we need to think about that. We need to see these things for what they are, because we cannot no longer have leaders in place and in positions just because we like them or because we want something from that. What is the fruit? What is the fruit? If we look at the fruit of the people and the things that's happening in our country, look, it tells you something about the leaders. And I'm going to leave you with that, family. It is Sunday afternoon, the 30th of November. May the Lord bless you.